Hello and welcome to the Hungaroring in Hungary for round 12 of Race Department's Formula FG Championship. I'm your host tonight, Aidan Karanen, and there is no one else with me. Don't know why, but sometimes that happens. So anyway, I'll be going solo today, and it should be a good one. It's going to be dry, completely the opposite to what qualifying was, which was well, I guess it was definitely storm, sub-monsoon, I know that you don't get monsoons in Hungary, but it wasn't too far away from that. There's Rui Martins, who was able to sneak into pole position, dry track, and he was able to make the most of it. Just ahead of Lachlo Chaco. That's going to be good for the Hungarian. It's, of course, his home race. He's starting on the front row. If he can get a good start, it's going to be very hard to beat today, is my tip. Daniel Harvey in third, Matt Bailey in fourth. The RD crew made a fantastic call for him. He's in fourth place. What can he do with it? I'm not sure. It would be a shame if they completely missed out on the points, but I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Rest of the 10, we got Deal, Sharp, Cox, Sigalakis, Saeed, Rinyaho. Yes. The one person missing from the top 10 is Stefan Berner. He's starting 12th. You've also got Ratovara and Utsa, 15th and 16th. That's not going to be good for them. And recently we've seen the Speedies do well in qualifying for the most part, but Engbrink and Black are in 19th and 20th. So, for sure it'll be interesting. Watch out for Hunsley, 13th place. That could be an interesting race there. Rinyaho in 10th as well, so the DTK is looking very good. Nonetheless, we'll head over to the grid now for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And so we're on the grid then in Hungary. We're up to 4 lights. We're up to 5 lights. Holding for a long time. They're all out. The Grand Prix is go, and Martins and Chaco very even. Martins is just ahead, but Chaco might have a look down the inside. First corner. And it's still nip and tuck. Martins is on the inside for the second, but no, it's going to be Chaco that's going to make it. Bailey's made up position as well, so looking good there for the Australian. Deals followed him. It's Harvey that's fallen down a bit. Rob Sharp's now onto the back of him. Jamie Cox there, Sigalakis. Rinyaho's made up a spot on Saeed. Hunsley's made up 2 already. Andy Black has made up 8. So I'm not even sure how that is the thing that is possible. There he is in 20th. He's just going down the inside of everyone. Everyone's, too busy, falling asleep. So Andy Black makes up 8 spots by the first corner. Berner's moved down a few as of watching that. And we find he's lost another position in the meantime, so not good for the championship leader at this moment. Ratovara's moved down a little bit. Christian Lindner, his home race as well, we shouldn't forget that. Not looking so well for him as opposed to his countryman. Deal, meanwhile, here, having a look down the inside. Can't get it done. 2013 Spec racetrack today. Bit of grass all over the circuit though. So yeah, not the same as last year obviously. Matt Bailey here in third. He's got Deal moving past him. It's pretty much already done. Good move there as Sharp goes through on Harvey, and I think Cox is going to follow him through. In fact, so will Sigalakis. So Harvey there losing 3 spots, and it's not over yet as Rinyaho's having a look at him. Hunsley's moved up, so he's now right behind his teammate, having dispatched the Saeed. So the DTK is having a great show so far on a track that normally you don't expect to see much overtaking, but I think we're going to see some at the first corner today for sure. We saw a lot of first corner overtakes in the GPTCC round at Hungary. I think that was on a slightly different spec circuit, but that's where the majority of people are having a look, and Hunsley has a look to the inside there of his teammate. Very cheeky. Jacko controlling the race now though. It's a second ahead. Only 50 odd more laps to go as Bailey looks like he's going to be in trouble. Sharp comes from nowhere. Long way down the inside, and I think Cox is going to again take advantage. No, he's not going to be able to this time. He's got to be careful. Sigalakis looking for a spot there. He's sort of come off the corner poorly. Rinyaho and Hunsley, not much happening there. We find Black has fallen back a few positions. Now he's lost one to Utsa, who's doing nicely. He's recovering from a 16th in qualifying. In fact, I think Graham's refound a little bit of form. Top 10, Hunsley's the big mover, coming up 3 spots. Deal and Sharp both up 2. Harvey down 5. That's where the damage is. Berner, he's moved back up into 16th. Herbert now bringing up the rear of the field. As Berner, something's happened to Stefan Berner there. We can see on the telemetry that he's fallen back at a rate of knots. Here he is. Oh, it's a problem. He's got a puncture. Championship leader, puncture. He's not going to make it back to the pits. So close, but he's unable to. It's just another corner around, but obviously it's destroyed the front, the rear end. Could be the front end, but I believe it would be the rear end. Massive shame there. So there you have it. You know, we're 4 laps in. Championship leader is out. It's anyone's game. This is now incredibly important. For, you know, if your name is Rob Sharp, very important. Jamie Cox, it's an important overtake there on Matt Bailey, because this is now extremely important. Championship defining sort of stuff. If your name is Rinyaho, it's not as big a deal. Utsa, now, you know, he's up into 12th. He's made up 4 spots. He really needs to get a wriggle on if he wants to have a chance at this championship. And this is a good opportunity now. He's not going to be losing much more ground to the leader, but he's got to get into the points. So then he makes up ground. Sigalakis here, Matt Bailey. So as feared, Matt Bailey is falling back through the pack. As Berner's stricken car has just been left there, I believe. Sigalakis now to the inside. We're going to have a look down into the first corner. Straightforward overtake for the Greek driver. Hunsley through on Harvey in the background. Sigalakis without any points since South Africa where he won, so to be in 6th is so far not too bad for him. Could be Comte's curse to say that, but that's for sure. Chaco though, just pulling away a little bit. Nice and controlled. He's just got to keep his calm in these sort of situations. As we are pretty much of a 10th of the way through the race, as Bailey's gone off there. Hunsley's gone past his teammate, so is this a bit of a move over now, mate? Of course, the Ashes have just started. Oh, he's a long way up the inside there. Well, that was quite interesting, really. On board here with Bailey. Hunsley's a long way up the inside, and I don't think Bailey was ever really going to make it. They were both really, really committed to that line, and well, you know, Hunsley obviously slid a long way across the line, but I think Bailey was doing the same anyway. They just sort of followed each other, so there's no real problems there, as Jamie Cox does the fastest lap of the race, I believe. So he closes in on Rob Sharp. Hunsley and Rinyaho though. Hunsley especially will be looking to catch Sigalakis quick smart. Rinyaho probably a few laps after that. Utsa meanwhile up into the 10. First time today. So he's dispatched of Matt Bailey. Andy Graham will be looking to very soon as well. Saeed is going backwards if anything. An interesting backmarkers battle here. We got Barrett leading Engbrink, leading Lintner, leading Herbert. Dovizioso's just moved away from that pack. Graham really looking racy on the back of Matt Bailey. Jamie Cox meanwhile having a look on Rob Sharp down into the first corner. Hunsley, fastest lap of the race. Cox has just got his nose ahead. Sharp might have a better run down to the second corner. As I think that was Rautavaara up the inside of McNamara gets the job done. McNamara definitely going backwards at the moment. Dovizioso now going to have a look at the Australian. Chaco though, still pulling away. One thing I probably should check in a moment is if Cox did get past. Hunsley pulling away from his teammates with ease. Sharp and Cox still in the same position. Probably going to have another look down the inside. Well, Cox will have a look, and it's happening right now. This time Cox has got himself a little bit more of a lead. And he will get it done. Jamie Cox through into 4th place. 1.9 seconds behind Pablo Deal now. As Rautavaara moves past Black, that's it's good for the Finn there. He's moving up steadily. So Cox goes through. Hunsley now is hunting down Sigalakis, moving away from Rinyaho with ease. Utsa possibly catching up to Harvey a little bit. Graham's moved past Bailey, who next has Saeed behind him. Rautavaara there, he's moved past Black. McNamara, there's Dovizioso. Interesting, we can see some of the fuel loads, and it seems that pretty much everyone's following the same sort of strategy. Yeah. No one as of yet has decided. Well, no one's going full pelt at it, and maybe doing a one-stop somewhere around halfway. It was the fastest lap of the race, and I missed who it was. It was Hunsley again. You'd have to expect that. Guy's an absolute monster this season in the race. Lindner here, he's going to have a look at his teammate down into the first corner. And he's gotten it done as well. Good move there from Christian Lindner. There's arguably there's going to be quite a large announcement to do with the Virgin team after this round, so stay tuned on that. As we're there with Martins, nope, we're back with Chaco. It's moved out to 2.8 seconds. Uniho is starting to lose sight of his teammates extremely quickly. Hunsley really does have no fear. As you can see, 2nd through 5th. This will be where the battle is probably for the rest of this stint. Herbert here, going to have a look on his countryman. Yes, maybe, no. But 2nd through 5th, and quite possibly very soon Hunsley, I would imagine, will get past Sigalakis relatively easily. And then it'll probably be a battle 2nd through 6th. Nearly 3 seconds now between Chaco and Martins. The Hungarian, he's going to try to make, going to give himself the best possible chance of possibly a home victory. A maiden victory at home, I mean. A few people have been able to do that. Maiden victories at home. But, you know, every time it happens, it's still special. Meanwhile, we're here, we're not there. Deal has got Cox right onto the back of him all of a sudden. So Ratavara there moves past Saeed. Ratavara having a look for points quite possibly. Saeed seems to be struggling. That's McNamara having a look at Black, but that's not really an overtaking opportunity there. I mean, that's not to say you can't, it's just, you know, if you're going to try to do that, you're, you know, you're tripping on something pretty crazy. I mean, that's it's not a normal overtaking spot. Very fast, not much room for it. Chaco across the line, lap 12. Here we go, Deal and Cox. Well, we'll go back to Matt Bailey, why not? As Jamie Cox does make the move on Deal, I'd assume that was a straightforward operation. Indeed, and the Australian goes through. Meanwhile, we've got Sigalakis and Hunsley now. You would imagine that won't be too long. As Utsu is moving up onto the back of Harvey, we got Graham next. Matt Bailey's going to be in that position, but I wouldn't say it would be much longer. Ratavara will probably get him relatively soon. Saeed just holding up Black a little bit there. That might allow McNamara a chance. Davizioso's there. Engbrink has, I think he must have done that a while ago. Next, Lindner, Barrett and Herbert. So far, just the one retirement. Championship leader Stefan Berner. Meanwhile, here's Rinyaho. He's caught up a little bit to the battle ahead, no doubt thanks to Sigalakis holding back. Hunsley, as Jamie Cox does the fastest lap of the race. Jamie Cox getting closer. Black and Saeed, a bit of a lock up there. I'm not sure if there was a touch. I don't think there was. Saeed will get away from the corner, no problems. McNamara attempting a cheeky look there. It's just becoming a... well, I have a word for what was happening back there, but I don't think it can be broadcast, so I'll just leave it at that. It got pretty hectic. Got pretty heckers. Chaco, meanwhile, moving out towards 4 seconds almost on Martins in the first stint. It's not a bad effort from the Hungarian. He's going to need it. Just don't know. Cox is on a real charge. Not to mention Hunsley, yeah, who has dispatched of Sigalakis with ease. We now see Jamie Cox on the pole sitter, Rui Martins. Fast lap of the race for Hunsley. And Cox will be able to get the job done. So he's 4 seconds now behind Chaco. Martins moves back to third. Deal. Well, he's not really any closer to Martins after that. Sharp. Going to be very soon. I think it's going to be Hunsley that he's going to be fighting with. Sigalakis doesn't quite have the pace to keep up with the guys ahead. Rinyaho in 8th, not bad. Harvey's now definitely got a massive problem from Utsa. Graham's there. Routavara has dispatched to Bailey. There's Saeed as McNamara has gotten past Andy Black. That would have probably been first corner. We won't go back far enough to find it. We can, but we won't bother. Dovizioso's got Engbrink and Lintner and Barrett very soon. That's becoming an interesting train there. Then Herbert bringing up the rear. Back to Chaco, who's lost 2/10 to Cox already. I'll have another look in a moment. There goes another one. Nothing to worry about just yet, but then again, we are only 15 laps through, you know. We're a bit past a quarter of the way through the race. And that 4 seconds that he's worked very hard to build is now getting eroded away already. Not to mention Rob Sharp, about a lap ago, it was 2 seconds back to Hunsley, and it's already 1.2. Make that 1. As McNamara has been re-overtaken, it seems. Here with Lintner. Engbrink still looking for a way around Dovizioso. It's just not coming about. Dealer's made up a little bit of time there. On Martins, as Jamie Cox is down to 3.3 now on Chaco. McNamara here. So it seems that perhaps there's something going on with Sigalakis. He's pitting this lap. Doesn't seem to be a problem. And so is Jack Hunsley, actually. We're getting pit calls, Cox is going to be in, Chaco's going to be in. So here we go. Game is now on. The strategy game, that is. And in comes Chaco then. Sugalakis goes in as well. So, as does Hunsley, as does Deal Cox. Yep. So, at the front then, Rui Martins takes the lead of this race. Something I don't think he has done yet today. So, not too bad there for the Portuguese driver. Rob Sharp moves into second place. Has not got a deal between him and Martins. Now he might be able to use a little bit of clear air to make up some time. Harvey's into fourth. Utz has fallen off him a little bit. Graham, Rautavara. Chaco comes back out just ahead of Bailey. That's very important. Cox comes out relatively not too badly, I'd say. He's got a bit of time in front of him, no real problem. He's ahead of Black and McNamara. There's Hunsley, who's already dispatched of Deal. Yep, Martins is coming in now, as will Sharp. Rinyaho's going to go another lap, indeed. So DTK will lead the race. Not quite. I mean, he does lead the race, but he'll come in this lap, so he should lead at least a lap. Harvey's in, Utz is in, Graham's in, Rautavara is not. There is Chaco, effectively our race leader. Here is Saeed. He's got Jamie Cox all over the back of him. Cox moves out, down into the first corner. No problems there for the Australian. McNamara yet to pit. Here's Hunsley. There's Martins, who has popped out behind Hunsley already. Not too bad for Sharp. He's jumped Deal in the stops. There's Herbert, there's Sigalakis. Harvey's a long way further behind. Barrett's going through. So next we're waiting on Tapio Rinyaho. Not to mention Rautavara, who's quite a long way behind his countryman, 11.4 seconds, as Rinyaho's on the way in now. Chaco coming through. Should be relatively simple for the Hungarian. They've only got 2 seconds on Jamie Cox now, though. There's Rautavara, and Rinyaho's just completing his stop. Chaco, no problems there. Meanwhile, Hunsley's moved into third place then, through the pit stops. 3.5 seconds behind Jamie Cox. He's got 2 seconds back to Martins, who has 2 seconds to Rob Sharp. An interesting battle's going to form here. We got Sharp in 5th, Deal 6th, Sigalakis 7th, Rinyaho 8th. That could possibly ignite, I guess you'd say. There's Harvey. Utz has lost a lot of time to Daniel Harvey. Rautavara, meanwhile, has gotten ahead of Andy Graham. Bailey's still holding 13th. McNamara now leads Saeed, Black, so he's made up a couple of positions, McNamara. Not really of any use, though, is what I would say. He's, in fact, if anything, he's losing time to Harvey. Fast lap of the race there, Jack Hunsley. There could be another position in it for McNamara should he catch up to Matt Bailey. You would imagine that'd be relatively straightforward, as Hunsley's taking a little bit of time out of Jamie Cox. He's getting rid of Rui Martins though a lot faster, so definitely the top three, definitely going a lot faster. I say the top three, and we've got definitely two of the top three, Cox and Hunsley. As that mean green machine is just sneaking up to Chaco. You know, he's had a good run so far today, but you feel that the fairy tale is going to fall short here with the Sigalakis. This little battle, well, in fact, Rob Sharp seems to be pulling away a little bit, so it's Deal and Rinyaho with Sigalakis in the middle, where that battle's going to occur. As Chaco, it's down to less than a second. Chaco and Cox. You know, that Falcon is no slouch in a straight line, or any, you know, just driving in general during the race. But Cox and Hunsley are really putting a lot of pressure on Chaco, and I think that's where it's coming out. You can see both of them. Question is, will Cox be close enough for a look down the inside this lap? If not, he's probably going to have an entire lap behind Chaco that Hunsley will be able to catch up. Yeah, he's definitely not going to be anywhere near close enough. Here's Hunsley, it's down to 2.2 seconds to Jamie Cox. Matt Bailey. Meanwhile, it's still 7/10, Chaco and Cox. It's Mercedes power versus Honda power versus Toyota. Lap 22 of 53, it'll be 23 in a moment. So near 31 laps to go still of this race. We're not quite halfway through. Deal there just pulling away a little bit from Sigalakis, as Rinyaho is probably going to have a look at him before the Greek driver has a look on Deal. We've got no idea if... Here we go, battle for first. We'll stick with this for a while. Chaco and Cox. Hunsley just 1.8 seconds behind. They've absolutely left Rui Martins for dust. To say Martins is in the best of the rest category is, you know, it's really mean, but it's somewhat close to the truth. Rinyaho has moved past Sigalakis. These three putting on a fantastic show so far. Cox is really putting a hell of a lot of pressure there on Chaco. Crowd, of course, looking for their man to get the job done today. They both go through that corner incredibly slowly. You know, and Hunsley's now right onto the back of both of them. Here we go, onto the main straight. We'll start lap 24. Down into the first corner. Cox does move out towards the inside. Is he going to be far enough up? He's had that move done 3 times and he gets it done again. Meanwhile, so Chaco moves down. The crowd collectively groans, I can imagine. He's now going to have Hunsley right behind us. Cox goes through there a little bit slowly, doesn't exactly help Chaco in the slightest, as now Hunsley that's not what I expected. Here we go. .3 seconds back to Remastered. You know, even bottled up behind Chaco, I'm assuming that they're going to be moving a lot faster than the Cedars driver. Chaco, ooh, both of them just playing a little bit of a game. Cox moving away a little bit now, so the Australians setting up, preparing to lead a lap here. Hunsley will surely get this done. Onto the main straight. Here we go. The DTK driver moves to the inside. Little to no defensive work there from Chaco. And that's that, and Latchlow Chaco has been dispatched back to 3rd place then in a matter of 2 laps. As Hunsley moves through, it's now going to arguably be a straight fight between Jamie Cox and Jack Hunsley. Here's Martins. He's got 2.5 seconds back to Sharp. Deal. There's Rinho going to have a look next at the Brazilian. Sigalakis holding 8th. Harvey and Utsa losing perhaps a little bit of time, but he does have a bit more fuel on board, so he might go a little bit longer and have a slightly shorter stop for the final stint. Graham. Bailey, it's taken a while, but McNamara's finally caught up. There's Saeed. They've dropped Andy Black a little bit. Davizioso, Engbrink, Lintner, Herbert, who has dispatched of Barrett, and then the only other person is Stefan Berner, but he's a long way, long time out of the race. Yeah, well, here with Utsa, we might just be able to get a glimpse. Yep, there is Rautavara. Possibly the low points paying positions for Apex today, but points are points. Because we are pretty much halfway through the race now. Barrett, the only man not to have scored points yet this season, and I'm of the opinion that he's going to struggle to do that at all. McNamara here on Matt Bailey, looking for a way past. Here we go, the two leading drivers when it comes to racing on the Sunday as opposed to qualifying on the Saturday. It's a battle that we haven't really had. It's never occurred this season, I don't think, these two. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. McNamara and Bailey. As Rinho moves past Pablo Deal down into the first corner, no doubt. Hunsley is just catching up a little bit. Bailey and McNamara are still fighting. I think McNamara's finally got it done properly though. Indeed. So the two Australians have a bit of a battle, but that's pretty much it. Cox and Hunsley now. The Toyota is the most powerful engine at the moment. And the DTK is one of the most reliable cars going around as well. It's a frightening combination. Cox still holding position as Sigalakis is now all over the back of Pablo Deal. Well, Jamie Cox holding a slender margin of 0.9 of a second. He will come across the line to begin lap 29 of 53. And with that we will take our break. We do hope that you'll be able to join us for the rest of the race right after this. So just to repeat, Jamie Cox leads Jack Hunsley by 0.9 of a second, with Laszlo Chaco holding third.